Normally, the body of a loop is enclosed in curly braces. However, there is an alternative syntax that can be used with while, for, and for each loops. It can be useful if you want to make it clear where a loop ends. This is while.php, which has a while loop. With the while loop, you replace the opening curly brace with a colon, and you replace the closing curly brace with the keyword end while. This is all one word. There must be no space between the end and while, and it needs to be followed by a semicolon. If we save that and load this page into a browser, it goes through that loop in exactly the same way as if we had used curly braces. So let's take a look at a for loop. That's in for_loop.php. It follows exactly the same pattern. You replace the opening curly brace with a colon, and then because we're dealing with a for loop, the closing curly brace is replaced by the keyword end for, and that's followed by a semicolon. If we save that and load this into a browser, it loops through the array as before. So let's take a look at for each, and no prizes for guessing how this works. The opening curly brace is replaced by a colon, and the closing curly brace is replaced by end for each and a semicolon. Save that, load the page into the browser, and we're running through that loop exactly the same as before. Let's finally look at this file here, do_while.php. This has a do while loop, and there is no alternative syntax for a do while loop because the condition follows while at the end of the loop, which makes it obvious where the loop ends. So that's the alternative syntax for while, for, and for each. In each case, you replace the opening curly brace with a colon, and the closing curly brace is replaced by a keyword. In the case of a while loop, it's end while. In the case of a for loop, it's end for. And in the case of a for each loop, it's end for each. This alternative syntax can make code more readable where it's difficult to see where a loop ends.